Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy, but I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy, but I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy, but I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy, but I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. I know the world is going crazy, but I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy, but I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy. I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy.
Jamille, I remember in 2006 when you decided to go to Atlanta. I wasn't really excited about you going, but I saw that you were determined to go. Because when you were on your way, the car broke down and you got out of your car and got into your cousin's car and had your car towed back home and kept going to Atlanta. And then from there, I just saw how you began to bloom. And you had your ups, you had your downs. And even though I was here and you were there, I was still just a phone call away. And we talked every day. It's just been exciting to see how you've grown, how you've changed your way of thinking, how you've enlightened me in your journey, how you've shared so much knowledge, and you've taught me so much. You've taught me how to think for myself. You've taught me how to investigate for myself and seek out the truth. And that's something that I never did before. And I'm really grateful for that. It has taken a lot of courage for you to do the things you've done. You have made me proud. I'm excited for you. I love you. I admire you. You encourage me to pursue the best me that I can possibly be. In all that I do, I share with you. And I'm grateful for that, and I love you.
Mystery lady, I know the world is going crazy. I can see you having my baby. Let's get away. Let's get away, mystery lady. I know the world is going crazy.
Good morning. Good morning, Kiana Quarles. What's ham?
Moaning.
Oh man, it's a beautiful Saturday, beautiful Saturday, beautiful day. How's the weather there in Indianapolis? I see the sun shining through your window.
It is. It's shining
Who's
now with
that
your
peeking through
petty
your
self.
window? Pow! The sunshine is now. Man, I'm glad. I'm glad today is Saturday, and I got a new day to rejuvenate and to renew my spirit. Amen. Hallelujah.
Amen. Amen.
Oh, so how was the birthday last weekend with Tootster?
It was good. It was nice. So I messed up
Uh oh.
because so the gag was she had no idea that we were going to see her favorite cousin in North Carolina, which is my nephew, Tommy. So we told her that we were going camping.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere along their road trip, she was super excited about going camping. And I wasn't really paying that any attention like that until we got to my brother's house. And I had my sister-in-law open. I had her tell Tommy to open the door to greet us. And I was expecting this happy-go-lucky, yay, cousin.
Mm-hmm.
So he opens the door. Marley gets out of the car and she smirks and smiles, and then she gives Tommy a hug. And then she says, "Okay, Tommy, you need to go get your stuff because we going camping."
oh, hello.
Yes. So, but the thing was, I said, "Marley, this is the campsite. This is this." No, but I thought you said that we were going camping. So she really wanted to be out there in the wilderness, and you know that wasn't the thing.
Oh,
But
so y'all really wasn't going camping?
no,
Oh
no,
yeah.
we told her that to prevent from telling her that we were going to see Tommy. Like Tommy was the surprise. Tommy and her uncle in North Carolina. That was the surprise. And if it had been any warmer, we probably would have went to Folly Beach in South Carolina, but it was too cold.
So how'd y'all break the news when he was like, "Oh, we was just playing"? Cause it's hard to tell
Go
little white
outside.
lies to kids. They be like,
It
"We're
is.
going
It
camping."
is. So, the black parent in me was like, why don't y'all go outside and play?
We will when we get to the campsite. No, no, no. We're gonna camp here at Uncle and Auntie's.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Well,
But
that is
yeah,
a good
she wasn't having
lesson
it.
learned. Parents, stop lying to your damn kids.
It wasn't a lie. It was supposed to be a surprise. I should have just
You
picked a
should have just
different
said
way
we
to.
have a surprise for you.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what I was just getting ready to say.
Yes.
It's a surprise.
Yes. A white lie
Yeah.
can be a big lie in a kid's head.
Yes, but it was just fear of her and me asking her, me telling her it's a surprise, and just if I would have told her that, then the mystery would have sat in her mind for too long. Then that whole road trip would have been. So, is this a surprise? Is
But
this the surprise?
you know
Is
what the
this the
thing about kids
surprise?
though, you can use that surprise, that mystique surprise as a disciplinary action. Do you want your surprise? Oh, guess who ain't getting a surprise? Surprises go to everybody but you. Your baby will be an angel. You hear me?
That
Surprise. They be
is
like, I'm
true.
good today. I'm good. You can use that little that mystique.
Listen, and that works only for a limited time only. Cause
Hey,
I've done that before, and with Marley, it's like 10 minutes go by. So it's like 10 minutes, and okay, mommy. So I've been good. So do I get the surprise? It's only been 10 minutes, Marley. It's only been 10 minutes.
man. That type of
So
mystery can be strung out. Listen, my auntie that's going to be a part of the fun fact today. She only spanked me once. And I think she only spanked my brother once too. I think we got it at the same time. But
sometimes that's all it takes.
she had this belt that was called Mr. Henry that I had never seen put to action. I had never seen Mr. Henry get work put in with him.
She
But
gave him a name.
oh yeah, and that was like a folklore around my family, my little cousins that in our same. She'd be like, "You want me to get Mr. Henry?" No, we ain't playing Mr. Henry. No, I ain't never seen Mr. Henry, but because there was talk of Mr. Henry and the damage that he would do, amen. Mr. Henry was to never be seen, and that meant whenever his name was mentioned, you straightened up quick. Now, fortunately, by the time I finally got my spanking, I was like, ain't no such Mr. Henry, get out of here. But then oh, shit, it's real. Speaking of family, good morning, Mama, the mother of the Jamille Harley Morning Show has checked into the building.
Good morning, Mama Harley.
My mama has been there from the start, and she will be there when it's over. Hallelujah. I don't know why I be jumping into my...
You do real quick.
Because it's so funny to me.
Praise and worship real fast.
So, listen, the last show I did in Indianapolis, Indiana, so that dude that was viral for saying he's not gay no more, that guy, he was hot in the news, and I just brought him up on I just brought his subject matter up on the stage, which caused me to start speaking in Payless Shoe Store tongues, and there was some women in the front row that you can tell they was mothers of missionaries. They was like, and as a comedian, that made me go harder.
All you need.
Yeah, like that. Oh, you offended? Yes, yeah, I'm in there. You might as well put a beat on, boy. I'm in there getting it. That group of women probably gave me bad reviews, but I don't care. We still move forward. But yes. Speaking of my mom, if you see this lovely beanie, it's nice.
It looks so warm.
It is.
It looks so warm and cozy.
It is. I wear it to sleep sometimes, just to feel loved. Not feeling love, ladies and gentlemen, put on some Threads by BJ. It feels like you're being hugged by your mama, because it is.
Oh, it's just to feel loved.
You know what? I had a rough day. It's 90 degrees outside. Let me go on and put this thing on.
Oh.
Get me some love in here. Well, we got a good show for y'all today. We have Coach Willie Earl will be appearing shortly, and then we will go into our guest, Aris Hill, rather. No S at the back of Hill. She's a model who I come across in my rooms with Dr. Phil True. It's a group of people that are searching for answers and information. And in that room, we have class. And so we learn about ancient history. And she's one of the moderators in there. And I learned a lot about myself throughout the years. You should be learning about yourself throughout the years anyway. But models are people. And the media will have you think that models are just some superficial people. But when you actually get in touch with people and you find that the media, everything you see in the media is propaganda. It's propaganda. It might have a little hint of some truth in there, but it's convoluted with a whole bunch of BS. But anyway, so she's a really three-dimensional person. We will be bringing her on to speak about her life so far, and then we'll get you back to your Saturday. But so I'm going to be doing a fun fact today. And it's just going to be me talking about my family specifically. So this is March, and we're going to talk about two pivotal people in my life that birthdays happen to be in March.
That is a fun fact. Want to hear a fun fact? It's like a fun fact.
Another fun fact.
Here's a fun fact. Or not so fun fact. Or Here's another.
Not so much fun anymore, is it?
Not so much fun anymore. Ain't it? So, as of late, I have taken a dive down Ancestry.com in search of family members and i.e. some answers. And it's what started out with me trying to find information about my father. I end up finding some more information about my grandfather, my maternal grandfather. His name is Robert Jones. Robert Jones was born in Oklahoma. I think it's called Hartshorn, Oklahoma, at the Choctaw Reservation. And by his mother, which I should have Ancestry.com up. But I found out that a little bit about his mother and his father. And what I found interesting is that a lot of our grandparents, they kept the full names of slave masters. So first and last name would be the first and last name of their slave master. And you go and you look and you see the tree of everybody having the same first and last name, but nobody being junior. And I'm like, huh, that was interesting. There's no moral to that story. I was just sharing information. But I found that my grandfather's mother, she got married at 17 and she died at 24 from tuberculosis. And I was like, wow, that was a short life.
Yeah.
That was a very short life. And just living with my grandfather, or around my grandfather, I always call him one of my first best friends because I spent a lot of time with him as a child. And me and my other cousins, siblings, we talk about his ice water. I don't know how he made the best ice water on earth. His only ingredients was all of the ice cubes in the tray and tap water. And somehow that water was delicious. You can't buy that type of water in bottles. You can't get filtered water. You can't get alkaline water. Something about, I don't know, maybe he sprinkled a little something in there too. But anyway, so that was about my grandfather. And he was one of the few men that were in my life as a child, and nobody's perfect, but he was a great guy. Even though we kind of have we have some things that we've done or contributed in that we all might not be proud of, but nonetheless, underneath all that, he was a great man. And then the second person in my life that I want to recognize is my auntie. Some of y'all know her as Gila. Some of y'all know her as Annie. But I know her as Aunt Lady. And since I have the platform and opportunity, I want to send my love to her. She's not doing too well, but nonetheless, her legacy is monumental. And the irony behind my auntie's legacy, it's like she didn't set forth, as far as my knowledge, and be like, I want to be this, and I want to be as impactful as possible. I want to do this. No, she was just who she was, and who she was happened to impact a lot of people. A lot of people came to her in their time of need, and even not in their time of need, she was always there. From my perspective, from what I see and what she's done for me and my family, she picked up the slack where my father left it, and she did a hell of a job. I remember asking my auntie for a moped. I didn't think that she was ever going to get me a moped. I just like, she hasn't said no to me yet. And I was like, hey, lady, I want a moped. And so we used to get the trader, and we would look through the listing. And I'm like, wow, she really about to get me a moped. And so she surprised me one day and bought a moped. Then she told me, but you have to share this. I was like, wait a minute. Did nobody else ask for this?
Right. It's the worst thing to hear as a kid.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
But my auntie, my family, my mother, grandma, all them, my whole upraising, they taught us to share. And I'm the only one out of me and my brother that actually learned how to share, because he would always steal my stuff and tear my stuff and all this other craziness. But my auntie would always buy us the same thing and say we need to share, whatever. But she taught me how to share and be selfless, even when I didn't have to. And that was her. She was selfless even when she didn't have to. She didn't have to do the things that she's done for me and my family, my sibling, my brother, and my mother. She didn't have to because we weren't her children. We were her brother's children. She sacrificed a lot for me and for us. And I don't know how much, when I talk to her, how much she can really understand what I'm saying because of the condition that she's in. But I just want to give her flowers now and praise her while she's still here. And I sent her a birthday arrangement, and that was my first time actually doing that because as a stand-up comedian, you just broke, you just poor, and you're barely hanging on. But now I was able to show her that, hey, everything that you've done for me and everything that you said to me, even in not speaking in a lot of times, I heard you, and I thank you and I love you for that. So shout out to Ain't Lady.
Yeah.
What's up, She? And Kiana, I don't know if you ever met my auntie, my Ain't Lady, but
I haven't.
most people that was around me in college, I lived, while I was in college, whenever I would come home, a lot of times I would stay with her. Had the keys to her house and everything. I called her one day and I was like, I needed to get home from Terre Haute. She's like, I'll be there in a little bit. Really?
Right.
And then one time I was like, I needed to get to Terre Haute to move in my stuff. She said, take the truck. Really? I wouldn't trust me with your truck, but you trust. Okay, let's go. You know, but that just goes to how selfless she was. My auntie would give her last, and she has done that. So again, thank her for that. But without no further ado, we gonna get Coach Willie Earl in here, Kiana's best favorite person. I don't know why I just put that together. Best favorite.
I don't either. It's too early. You don't want to wait till later to bring him on?
You know, Coach Willie Earl adds to our lives in this thing. Because when he gives his love advice, we listen.
Mm-hmm.
And we gonna listen today.
Mm.
Is this Coach?
Hello.
Oh, shoot. My guy, Coach. I don't hear no hogs going. It's just Coach and the sunrise. What's going on, pimp?
Man, it is a beautiful day out here, man. The sun is shining out. The temperature a little low, but that's all right. Because, you know, as long as the sun is shining, it makes my heart feel good. That's all that matters to me.
It is.
How you doing there, Jamille?
I'm doing good, my brother. Good to hear your voice, man. Kiana's excited. She said she couldn't wait to get some advice from Coach.
Listen, Jamille, you know, we're not going to start off lying. You know, Kiana and I's relationship is a little conflicted. You know, it's, you know, in the street terms, I feel like I'm almost like a sugar daddy. You know, you don't really want to claim me in public. But behind those vegan doors, everybody knows what's understood don't need to be explained. That's all I'm saying.
Wait a minute, behind the vegan doors.
Behind those vegan doors, what's understood don't need to be explained. Well, good morning, Miss Kiana. How art thou?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. Now, hold on now, sugar. Put you down a little low now. What you need Coach Willie Earl to do for you? You need me to put a little something on your app cash, or what you need me to do? I'll do it.
Your app cash?
Put a little something on your app cash. I can do that for you. No worries. Yeah, get you some good products. Make them curls shine real nice. Whatever you need, just let me know. I'm here for you.
Oh.
Well, thank you for your offer, but
Come on, listen here. See how the relationship works, Jamille? I am very, very forthcoming with my affections toward Miss Kiana. She just be acting like, that's all right. I understand. It's all right.
What is it that you expect for me to do, Coach? What is it?
Listen here, like a winning lottery ticket, you better claim me. You hear me? Like a winning lottery ticket, you better claim me. To the social media world, to the regular world, all other worlds, okay? That's what I know.
Oh, boy. Oh boy.
Baby.
But I mean, this is a lover's quarrel, Jamille. We do this all the time. You didn't call me to hear that. You know, we once again we interrupting that man's show with our own. Here we go again.
Y'all gonna huddle up afterwards. I know.
Oh, Jamille, listen, you already know what time it is. You already know what time it is. But listen here, Jamille, real quick. I want to say this right here. It's basketball. The March Madness is in our hometown, the Indianapolis. It's the NCAA tournament.
Mm-hmm.
It is going on right now. And the thing about it is that I want to talk about one and done. Okay, you got one opportunity to win and advance. Okay, and I'm thinking about this in people's love lives and their personal lives. Hey, it's tournament time. It's time to get busy. Okay, listen, cuffing season is about over. Okay, so this is your last chance to shoot your shot at somebody. You hear me? I'm trying to tell you, you need to go for broke, because if you don't, it's gonna be a struggling summer for you. Because man, I think that the ladies missed hot girl summer last year, so they're gonna try to come back around. You know,
follow up.
Try to come back around one more time.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been talking to the fellas. They talking about Thought Boy summer's coming too. So I'm just saying, man, listen. If you are looking for love, just like the NCAA, it was a whole bunch of upsets yesterday. Oral Roberts, Ohio State, North Texas, because at the end of the day, you got one shot at it, Jamille. You got one shot to chase your dream of love and happiness. So that's what I want. It's one and done. You got one shot. Figure it out. You've been stalking the DMs. You ain't jumped in them yet. You've been stalking them. Okay. You've been looking at her page, things of that nature. Okay. It's time. It's time, ladies. Listen, go get your king. Okay. Go get him. Okay. He don't know. He don't know if you're looking for him or not, because you look thirsty on all your social media pictures. He don't know you're looking for him. Okay. One and done. March Madness. This is the time for you to shoot your shot. Now, let me put a disclaimer out there. Now, if the fellas out there, now, Miss Kiana, that's off limits. Don't shoot at that, because I'll shoot you. Don't shoot at that, because that'll get you shot. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
That gets shot. Mm-hmm.
You about to get canceled like Pepe Le Pew, coach. You can't say
If anybody shoot at Miss Kiana, that'll get you shot. That's mad. Don't do that. No, respectfully, go find somewhere else. But yeah, they did cancel Pepe, didn't they? Yeah. You know who they gonna cancel next?
Who?
Jamille.
Who?
They gonna cancel the wife beater. He out of here. He gotta go. The wife beater. You can't call that a wife beater no more. I don't know what you gonna call it, but you can't call it a wife beater no more. It's over for him. We can have a moment of silence for the wife beater. Yeah, can't have that. Nope. We gonna tank top, A-shirt or something, but you can't call it a wife beater no more. It's over, man. We got to have a funeral for that one. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm just trying to tell you. But listen, man, March Madness is upon us. One and done. You got one shot to win you a championship. Okay? It's time for you to shoot your shot, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm telling you, hot girl summer and thought boy summer are on the way. The way things looking down here in Atlanta, boy, I tell you. Woo. So you ain't cuffed nobody by at least April 2nd. Now, April Fools, you don't want to cuff nobody. You know what I'm real about. So you ain't cuffed nobody by April 2nd. Probably gonna be a long summer for you. So take this opportunity right now. It's March Madness, one and done. Shoot your shot. Love is within your grasp. You just gotta reach up and grab it, man. Hey, that's all I got for today, baby.
Man, we appreciate you, Coach Willie, Earl, for stopping by, man. We're gonna take that advice. Shoot your shot, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Coach, you have a good weekend and be safe out there, my brother.
Hey, man, Jamille, appreciate you, man. And like always, you know my slogan.
Be good. All right, baby. Be easy, man. Oh, man. Coaches. Thought Boy Summer. That's right, she. Thought Boy Summer. And
Thought Boy Summer?
Thought
That
Boy
is new.
Summer.
That is definitely new to me.
Thought Boy Summer. And you know what all these people promoting it, telling their business, talking about they got the shot, they gonna be out here thought like a mug, talking about I got my shot. And then Kobe gonna be like, but it don't protect you from me.
You gonna tap him on the shoulder?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
What did Varnell on the Martin show, Tommy Davidson, he said, did you miss me? Oh, man.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't think I was
Hold
going
on,
to like this one.
real quick. Let me say something
Mm-hmm.
to one of the audience members out there that's condoning this. Stop it. So you know who you are. Stop it.
She just want to see you happy. Come on now.
Baby, listen.
Coach told the world, don't you shoot your shot at Kiana Corals, because that's his. He said, she's off limits. He said, you shoot your shot, I'm going to shoot you. Well, dang, Coach. Ooh-wee. But with no further ado, we have the lovely model, Aris Hill, on the line, and we're going to bring her in, and we're going to get this party started right. All right.
Hey.
Welcome, Miss Aris. Let's bring her in here.
Greetings, great rising, and happy Saturday. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, good
Hi.
morning.
Hey.
Glad that you up early.
I am, yes.
Are you usually up early?
Sometimes it depends. Sometimes I naturally wake up around like 6 or 7 a.m. Other times I allow myself to sleep in, so kind of depends on the day.
Okay, must be nice. Must be nice to be able to sleep in.
Yeah.
I was about to say, when you
life that way,
naturally wake
so.
up at 6 a.m. around 6 or 5, you kind of prepping yourself for older age. So come on. And
Really? Okay.
That is.
I wake up at like 3:35, just like old folks. Like, what's the word?
Really?
only difference
Do you
is
go
I
to bed
don't-
at 6
Coffee
p.m.
on.
too?
Right. The only difference is I don't read the newspaper. But
Gotcha.
so let's just get into it. So so Dr. True, he was like, yeah, bring Aris Hill on. And I was like, yeah, I've never necessarily been in the company of an official model. I've been in the company of, rap video models and the
Gotcha.
Photoshop with the gloss and the blur with all your skin meat out model. But I've never been in the company of an official model. And like I was saying earlier today, before just in the introduction, society and the media will have you believe that models just are like superficial beings, like one-dimensional beings. But because I hear you on Clubhouse and because I follow your social media, Instagram, I know that not to be true about you specifically, because you are a multifaceted person. You have levels to yourself, which are extremely human. Like,
Yes.
you're not on here.
Models are humans.
Yeah, but you get this stereotype that models are just brand name. They want to show off the merchant, the consumership of it. But I went to your Instagram and you actually making celery juice. I was like, oh, she's gonna look young forever. So, but with that being said, what attracted you to modeling?
Interestingly, what I think attracted a lot of young girls to modeling, my influence was the old reality TV show, America's Next Top Model. And I grew up watching that show and seeing it, being so intrigued, so excited, and just knowing that like I was tall and thin. I'm like, okay, so like this is something I can do. So I would say that was like the root of my inspiration to begin modeling. Was that TV show?
Okay, so just to be clear,
Mm-hmm.
what is the genre of modeling called that you do?
So I would be called a runway or a fashion model because it's the modeling that I'm doing is specific to that category. And that's a really good question because a lot of people think that to model you have to be tall and thin, but that's just like the body type that's the preference for fashion modeling, so runway modeling. But there's all different types of modeling. There's fit modeling, commercial modeling, print modeling, athletic modeling, so many different varieties, hand modeling, foot modeling. So all different types of people can be models, but the modeling that I do that's like intrinsic to tall thinness is fashion modeling or runway modeling.
Glad you specified that, because OnlyFans lit up during the pandemic with foot models.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. That's a whole industry. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a around here in Atlanta, there's a lot of feet that probably should never be.
Right. Yeah. I have an interesting story. There was a photographer that I worked with one time that had a foot fetish, and I found out afterwards because like he tried to like grab. We were on shoot, and like the way that he tried to like adjust my foot or something, and the way that he grabbed my foot and like held it and stared at it for a second, I was like, "This is different." And then afterwards, um, we actually ended up finding out that like the agency wouldn't be working with him anymore because he's got a weird history. So yeah, I got my foot fondled.
Wow. In his mind, he heard,
Yeah, because like it was like his excuse was something like, "Oh, let me adjust your foot," but it was like more than an adjustment because he like caressed. I was like, "Okay, this is a first."
that is creepy. But
It was it was
no,
weird.
yeah. So Kiana, you used to watch the show too?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yes, I did
so
for a while.
when I see the models on social media when they do that walk, they like really. I'm not talking about the runway walk. I'm talking about
Mhm.
like the 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 social media walk. Like they really throw them hips
The
and do.
bounce,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, they got that
all
bounce.
the
Are
extra.
where did they get that from? Because I don't necessarily see the runway models doing that.
Yeah, we're usually given direction before going on the runway. So each designer may have like a type of walk they want you to have. So, for example, like I've been directed to walk fast and angry before. I've been directed
Hmm.
to walk light and ethereal. So they'll try to give you like a little direction as to how they want their show to go, which usually corresponds with like the inspiration for the clothes or the collection. But the especially I just feel like it's kind of like a southern thing and a performance thing. And also just like a black thing. Like we just have that like extraness about us. So
Hmm.
we just apply that, I guess, to runway modeling and put the shoulders and the spins and the dips and the hips.
Because
But
it looked like it hurts a little bit, but I'll be like, all right, y'all doing it. About to pop them hips out,
Yeah.
but you're doing it.
yeah, it kind of does. It just looks like a lot. It looks like a lot. And to be honest, like even the runway walking that I do is not necessarily like the easiest to do because your shoulders are back. Like it really requires a lot of core strength. And the longer the runway, the longer you're walking like in a controlled position. So it's not necessarily like running a marathon or anything, but it's also not like just walking. So I think I get that from what was it? The Jay Alexander on America's Next Top Model had a little
Yes,
extra
yeah.
in him.
Uh-huh.
And then what was the show? There was a show that was not runway, but it was what's the guy's name? There was a particular person, at least here in Atlanta, that had influence over giving models walking classes, and he was very extra. And I think
Gotcha.
that he
Yeah.
had an influence here or something because I see that walk still.
Yeah.
And I think
It,
it's also so go ahead, sorry.
I I'm trying to think of who you're referring to. I think I have an idea, but I
Yeah,
can't
I
remember
forget his
his
name.
name.
Yeah, I know I have his face clear in my head, but I cannot remember his name. Um, but also I think the runway shows are just tend to be more of like an event versus just like strictly about the fashion. So I think like all the extra movement is like a dance component that we just tend to do.
Yeah, now that makes sense because they're not necessarily showing off clothes. Like they used to have the hair show in
Mhm.
Indianapolis
Bronner
where I'm from.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Bronner
talking
Brothers.
about?
Is that what it was called? What was it called?
Yeah,
No, that
that's
Bronner
really
Brothers is
cool.
in Atlanta.
It's in Atlanta. What was the one in Indianapolis?
Oh.
Uh,
Anyway, it was a huge hair
yeah.
show, and I used to get good tickets because my mother used to work for Elasta, and I would be at good
Nice.
seats, not knowing what I was doing there. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I like the walk. It's just I was like, I never see the people on the runway doing that. So
Yeah.
where are some huge places that modeling has taken you?
Um, I guess to me, it's not like I'm just a different person in the industry because I'm not like I just don't have let me be careful. Certain things just don't excite me the way they excite other people because my
Uh-huh.
interests just aren't necessarily like in the fashion industry. But I guess like huge places I've been able to travel.
Hmm.
I've been able to like meet certain celebrities, have certain opportunities that like put my face on like a wide audience. For example, like being in a campaign for American Airlines. So I would say like the proximity that it's put me into people that are of like grand or huge uh status. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
it's really dope when you pursue something that you are passionate about, that you enjoy doing, and it affords you an opportunity to walk outside your house and do anything. So, um,
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
anything is big as far as that, especially when you live in a society that tells you to fit in this box and do it
Mhm.
this and nothing else. And
Yeah.
speaking of that, though, what are some challenges in modeling for you as a black woman?
Well, firstly, just that there's usually like a quota, like a lot of, and it's shifting a little bit the more that we progress, but there's usually like agencies used to have like, oh, we have like enough black girls that look like you, or we
Mm,
have 2 black girls in this show, like, we don't need to cast anymore. So usually just
Mm.
there being kind of like a cap for black models or even just like a very narrow window with how we can appear. So we either kind of look like myself with like certain more European features, or they're dark skin with short hair and look like strictly African. There's
mm,
not very much like variety in how, they allow us to like appear or express ourselves. And
mm,
then of course like it's better now because hairstylists are more knowledgeable about our hair type and texture, but before it would just be like makeup sometimes wouldn't match or they wouldn't know how to do our hair or would use the wrong products or wrong tools on our hair, and it would, that can be a little traumatizing. I've had my hair burned off, ripped
mm.
out,
Mm.
I've been burned, I've been clipped, so there's like those components that can be like accidental, but I think the biggest thing has just been like mental and emotional strength to not allow like obvious racism or prejudice um make me upset or like take too much away from my confidence, because the industry is very racist and very prejudiced. Not to say that like black models and models of color don't work, but it's definitely not to the degree that white models do. And you can see that in a lot of the fashion shows that it's usually predominantly white.
Gotcha. Do you find yourself uh because of your multi dimensions as how you are as a person, do you find yourself maybe the black sheep of modeling,
Oh,
or
absolutely.
you do?
For sure, yeah. Cause like, I'll get on set and stuff or show up at a show and, the models are talking about other designers and, like, stuff that's going on in the industry, and I just don't have an awareness of it, and maybe that's, like, me not doing my part on my job all the way, but I feel like my job is to just, like, show up and do what I'm supposed to do with the clothes. I'm not being, like, interviewed on what designer is doing what and who has put out this or that, which I respect about them that they have an interest in like a knowledge about it, but that's just not like where my interest or knowledge base lies. Like my interests are in like very esoteric spiritual concepts and practices like metaphysics, meditation, multidimensionality, shamanism, and
Mm.
most people do not think or resonate at that level, especially not in the industry. So when I get there with like my state of consciousness, I kind of sometimes struggle to like just like I'm not good at like what is it called, like filler conversation or like
Yeah.
common
Yeah.
talk.
Small talk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
small talk. They'll be like saying stuff about celebrities, and I'm like, I have no idea who you're talking about.
Especially when they're so passionate about it and you're thinking like, okay, that's cool.
So so
Yeah,
speaking of all of
yeah.
that, so what do you did you have any influences in the modeling industry at all? Like who were your with with your state of mind now, or I don't know how early it is that you started, but who were your early influences within the industry?
Yeah, so this was before when I was like a little bit more influenced by idols. I've never really been one to like be a fan or like have a celebrity that I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh my gosh, like this is my person. But in the modeling industry, I definitely had models that I thought were beautiful and runway walks that I was inspired by. Of course, Naomi Campbell, whose runway walk is just
Mm-hmm.
like absolutely killer.
Mean.
Um,
Mean. She has a mean walk.
yeah, she does. It's beautiful. She's like art walking. So I was
Mm.
definitely inspired by her and her walk. There's a French biracial model named Noemi Lenoir. She has really beautiful bone structure, really like feminine and delicate body, and just really was inspired by the way that she walked as well. Um, those are the main 2, and that so I started modeling also 10 years ago, so I'm trying to, like, scrape my mind. I'm like, "Who were my initial influences?" Those are the 2 that come to mind, and I also used to be much deeper in like, interested in the industry where I'd watch fashion shows all the time and study models and, like, who's the next up and coming model, like, who's popular this season, but, truly after my spiritual awakening, like, my like,
Mm-hmm.
everything just shifted,
Things,
and I
yeah, focus change.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Speaking of which, you just dropped bombs early, and I want to back up when you started dropping all those metaphysic and all that. First of all,
Yes, ma'am.
and that's what I was talking about as the preconceived notion of what a model is and
Mhm.
versus who you are. Um, how did that happen, that spiritual awakening? I'm always
Mm-hmm.
interested because it's always different for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I would say that I definitely, like, came into this realm with awareness of, like, what I am, who I am, and where I've been, but, you get indoctrinated, you start eating certain foods, and the consciousness can become suppressed or, in, like, a state of amnesia.
Mm.
So, it was actually in 2015 the matriarch of my family, my mom's eldest sister, my aunt Jarette, she passed away from cervical cancer. And
Mm-hmm.
something that's common with spiritual awakening is usually like a catalyst, like death or some like severe, harsh transition in life can catalyze a spiritual awakening. So that was definitely the
Mhm.
case for me with my aunt's death, and that just like really, it's like that level of grieving just really forced me deep within myself, and I just started asking certain questions and doing a certain level of like soul searching, and on the other side of that grief was, like, my awakening, so I would
Mm.
say that that's what was the catalyst, the spark for it.
And so I had a friend hit me up when I first started this morning show, which by the way is over a year old. Let's go ahead and
Yay, congrats.
Hey.
give we made it. We made it a year, but I had said some things in the initial part then in the beginning of this morning show about taking control of the information that's being fed to you and actually
Mhm.
wanting more because you're not taught anything sufficient through this society. I don't care how many titles they put on you, how many PhDs and MBAs and all this other stuff. If you're not going out on your own and searching for this information, you're probably standing on a bunch of fluff um, that you spend a lot of money getting it. But anyway, and
Yeah.
so he called me one day and told me that I had offended him for a slight second on what I said. But then he thought about what I said and he understood what I was saying, and it was to be that I was right. Not that I say anything to be
Mhm.
right or wrong. I just say things that
Mhm.
are kind of jolt the brain to think because we are taught to do the opposite. And so
Yeah.
he was talking about my delivery, which when I go back and I listen to my videos, I've heard harsh deliveries from other people. And I'm looking at mine, I'm like, I didn't say nothing.
Right.
I'm just saying here's this piece of right here. This piece of plastic is plastic. Here, look at it. And because people don't want to look at it and touch the texture and actually know that it's plastic, they feel like I'm being like I'm attacking them. And he was like, the what he say? He said, it was something equivalent to the method and how I talk. And I said, let's think of an alarm clock. What is the purpose for an alarm clock?
To wake you up.
to wake you up. Now, in the process of the alarm clock waking the unconscious person up, does it, hey, wake up. You about to miss your appointment.
Right.
Hey, wake up. Come on, baby. This is your last late. You gonna get fired. No, that's not the job of an alarm clock. Alarm clock is to be loud, aggressive.
Mhm.
Hey, get up, meh, 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 because you clearly can't wake up on your own. And so, as to what you said about how it takes some type of traumatic event, like before I went vegan, and I just got back to being vegan, but when I first went vegan, I remember telling this woman that I had met that was vegan, and I was like, yeah, that sounds crazy. I can never be vegan. And then you think that you about to die, and you find out that plants are the remedy. Like, listen, where's your Tabasco sauce? I gotta put it on this cabbage real quick. Some okra, yeah, come on with that. I don't want no meat. And even though I was being a hypochondriac, like over the top about it, but I started learning the importance of the diet.
Mm-hmm.
And how it's important to the brain, how it's important to the pineal gland, and how it's important to your spiritual and your connection to energy and all this other stuff. And I was like, oh, so I've been lied to for a very specific reason. And so in life, and I've been on this kick lately because a lot of the people that's around me, I'm surrounded by great people who want to do great things. And some people might be in certain situations where they be like, I can't see beyond this circumstance because this circumstance is so major in my life.
Yeah.
And I always say greatness is sitting in a recliner right behind fear, waiting for you. So all these things that you're afraid of, that's smoke and mirrors.
It is. It's an illusion.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the anagram? Is it, I think, anagram for fear? False evidence appearing real.
Yeah.
It's not even real. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's a trick. Fear is a trick. Now, don't get it twisted. There's reasons to be afraid of some things. Like, yeah. But, and so one thing that comedy taught me pursuing, because in my promo, my mother talks about my journey. She summarizes my journey leaving Indiana. And so before I moved to Atlanta, I was like a wolf ticket person. I was like, I'm leaving Indianapolis. I'm leaving. Ain't nothing here. I can't get no job. Knowing in the back of me was a little boy saying, but we're scared. So the wolf would talk all this stuff, but the boy would be like, but we're scared, Mr. Wolf. And I'd be like, shut up. I know you're right, but I got to talk this talk.
Right.
But it came to a point where I was like, I can't take it anymore. Plus, I would travel to Atlanta and I would see people like family members and other associates like doing great. And so when I made the decision to leave, there was all type of obstacles in my way, even in doing that. So the day I left, I made my rounds and I said goodbye to everybody. My mother was the last one because I knew that was going to be the toughest goodbye. And so once I said goodbye to her, I made up in my mind that I have to go on this path. And so I'm driving my car. I had a hoopty, and it broke down before I got out of Indiana. But my cousin was right behind me in his Ford Expedition, which is like a boat on wheels. So what I did was I took all of my belongings, threw it in his boat on wheels, and left my car because I was determined, like, fear's not going to keep me in this situation. And the worst thing that could happen is I come back here. So once you look at, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you go ahead. Finish your story, please.
No, so once you look at the things that you're afraid of, and you haven't even touched it yet. Like it has this sign that it's hot. It's hot. You don't see no smoke. It's hot. But greatness is right behind it. Go and touch it. It might sting a little bit. As long as it don't burst off of your hand off, and then go around there and test it. Because greatness is there. Like, come on.
I was just gonna say it's almost like the universe and yourself putting up certain like obstacles as like not even a test, but just to show you like there's always gonna be like a certain level that you have to push through because that's what like requires and cultivates strength
Mm-hmm.
with no obstacle, with no trial or tribulation. Like that's so for me, like my ability to healthily grieve on the other end of that was like this awakening to like a completely new version of myself. Like your ability
Mhm.
to still do what you had to do to leave your home state on the other end was like a new life in a new state.
Mm-hmm. Have you
Yeah.
noticed any impact that you've been able to make on your intermediate family and friends, your circle?
So many. Oh, and I'm so like I've been planting seeds for so long, and finally I'm seeing like tiny little baby sprouts, and I'm trying not to be like too excited in case they decide to die, but I'm also like willing them to grow. I've seen my parents begin eating better. My
Mm-hmm.
mom has stopped
Yay.
smoking cigarettes. My mom is now like juicing. She's helping me in the garden. I can just tell that like so what actually when her sister died, like my mom lost her mother. She's lost like a few people that are very close to her. So when her sister passed away, it was like a huge chunk of her left with her. And her spirit is like just now recovering and having some like healthy vitality to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just super grateful for that. And then I know that I've been a major influence in that because I've been for so long just telling her like, Mom, you say you're depressed, but like look at what you're eating. Like
Yeah.
you're going to continue to be depressed if you continue to eat the way you're eating. So
Mhm.
it's taken a long time. I know that she's like consciously understood that, but it's taken a long time for her to be ready to like move through certain emotions to not eat the way that she eats to then now like be in a healthier state that she's in. And I'm just hoping that she continues down this path and doesn't like go back to eating
You,
unhealthy food.
you see the wrong commercial, you be like, you know what, that cheeseburger does sound good. Let me get 2 of those with extra cheese. Mom, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
I mean, she does like she's balanced right now in the sense that like she eats a decent amount of like healthy stuff, but she still eats her stuff that I consider crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And food is the start. Food
Mhm.
is the start. And the thing about food, especially once you learn. So I had my uncle. He used to say, you don't know how to drive a car unless you can drive a stick. He
Mm.
said it. I was like,
Hmm.
that sounds crazy, Unc. What are you talking about? Until I learned how to drive a stick.
Mhm.
You're using so much more to drive when you driving a manual, using both feet, using your hand over here. You got to use
Mhm.
all your mirrors. You in a rhythm with yourself. You are an
Mm.
ultimate driver at that point. And so when it comes to food, yeah, you can cook. You can cook some salmon, which is delicious. You can cook all this other stuff, which it would be delicious to some people. But when you can put some plants together, baby,
Yes.
you are an ultimate cook at that point. And when you can reverse your palate and enjoy
Yeah.
carrot juice or beet juice or celery juice. I saw you make some celery juice, and there's um you're starting to grow, and you're not only you're opening your mind to what you are eating, consuming orally, you're opening your mind to what you're consuming all around. It's like food
Mhm.
is a drug that keeps you,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like narrow minded, and not to say that everybody eats meat is narrow minded. So
Yeah.
because people get offended, I'm not narrow minded.
Right.
So
So,
if
Eris,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
sorry. So, are you plant-based
I
or?
am. So April of this year will be 5 years. So since April of 2016,
Oh
I've been
wow.
vegan.
Yay! I've been vegan for 5 years now too. Yay!
Awesome. Nice.
Yeah,
Super
five
cool.
years.
It's always so heartwarming to like know that more of us melanated people are getting onto that lifestyle because it's truly like the healthiest and most conducive
Absolutely.
for yeah, our overall well-being.
Yeah. One thing we have to acknowledge, and not to diss, but a lot of this trendy vegan stuff is just as dangerous as the processed meats and stuff. So,
Yeah,
although we should celebrate our peers that are creating businesses and they're talking about plant based and more health related topics, we should still continue to do our research and look into what we are consuming.
for sure.
Yes.
So I
That's
got
actually why.
we have a question from Tashika Brewer. She said, What is best for your nutritional? What is best for you nutritionally isn't always best taste." Oh, she didn't have a question. She's giving a statement.
That's
Yeah.
very
You know, I remember as a kid, which don't judge me, y'all. I drank some noni juice. Now,
Jesus, oh man, what'd you think of that?
well, my brain said it was disgusting.
Yeah.
But if you would have saw the way I chugged it, I was like, yeah, this ain't nothing. Goop, goop, goop. It was kind of refreshing, but the brain was like, is this nasty? What is this? This is different. And I was like, shut up, brain, and just drink it. It's noni juice. But yeah, when you look at other cultures in other countries, other regions of the world, they eat and drink some stuff that you'd be like, how would you do that? But their palates are trained for
Yeah,
it.
it's normal for them. Yeah. That's actually why I call myself whole food plant-based instead of just vegan now, because vegan has kind of like morphed into like not necessarily being centered around health, which I think is good to be centered around ethics too. The animals are a major component as to why I'm plant-based, the ethical component, but just because something's vegan, like you said, like it can still be really processed, really unhealthy, just not compatible with the body. So specifying like whole food plant-based to just like get the mindset on like whole food, like keep it as close to nature and its original structure as possible.
Kiana, you had a question?
No, I didn't have a question. I was going to make a comment because I know in my journey, like my journey didn't come from that of animals. Like honestly, like it came from that of a rage against the machine, like looking around my neighborhoods, looking around my communities to see other people who look like me struggling, with these convenient stores that are geared towards our people, but sell what was known as the black soul food or whatever at these high prices, and liquor stores on every corner, and so on and so forth. So it was me combating against that, and me knowing that my family lived in these same neighborhoods and could look at me and say, what is Kiana doing? And like you, like the seeds planted, and you very slowly came along, but you you start to see differences. And to talk more about I just said this on my status, a couple of statuses that I've posted about the whole substitutes, like the everything in the grocery stores that says vegan. You get the vegan chicken patties and vegan this and vegan that. And I fell into that. I did. Like I started off whole food, plant-based. Like my first couple of years, that's what I did. And it was a beautiful thing. And then it was like, let me try this chicken patty, this impossible burger. And then, then you just kind of fall into that, and your body will talk to you in like once you've had that like once you've had that whole food plant-based diet, and then you start to get into that other stuff like the substitutions and stuff like that, your body will talk to you in ways that you've never. It will definitely say, okay, hold up, I know this said that this was vegan, but it's I'm starting to lag here, like I don't feel too good.
That's the incompatibility.
Yes, and you definitely start to feel the difference in that.
You get
And
that
I mean, I don't.
like H-Town. Hold up, man.
Yeah, hold up. But I don't. But the thing is what I because I feel like there's such division now in that, and I say this all the time. I feel like, yes, it is, honey. It's bad for the waist and thighs. I agree, but but what I was going to say, like, there's so much division. Like, I say this all the time. We divide over a lot of things. Like even in the plant-based communities, it's the vegans, the plant-based, the whole foods, the this, the that.
Yeah.
I don't knock anybody who's like, even if you've been predominantly meat and you want to attempt to, because we are a hard people to convince. So even if you do try to steer away from that and try something else that says that it's vegan or whatever, I don't knock you for that. And the whole thing with it being trendy and so on and so forth, my thing is, what a better trend to follow. Like, you
Yeah.
got all these other challenges that are I remember, put your lips in a cup, see if you get the Caitlyn Jenner or whatever dumb challenge. Yes, this is to pucker up your lips and make them look like one of the not Caitlyn Jenner. Make it, was it?
Kylie, I
Yeah,
think it was Kylie when she got her
Kylie.
lips
It was
done.
Kylie.
Like,
Yes, like, it was just like, if we can do that, then what a better trend, what a better challenge, like 30-day challenge, 10-day challenge, whatever it is, to get yourself to that place of being whole and feeling good and living good. I've known people who have started on that challenge, that 10-day vegan challenge or whatever it was, and kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that was just me piggybacking off of the plant-based whole food vegan route that we were talking about. So
Yeah.
so
So
that's
Aris,
a good thing.
if you had the opportunity to do anything in the world today for the rest of your life, no money, no financial restraints, no regional restraints, who would Aris Hill be starting today?
I guess I would still be myself. I would just move. I would not be myself in Atlanta. I would be in East Africa. So,
Doing what?
yeah. Doing what I'm doing now still, just farming and growing herbs to use for medicinal properties. So I actually have I have an apothecary.
My type of herb, huh? No, I'm just
I use that herb, but I use it raw in the raw form so that it's medicinal. Yeah, the leaves, if you can like find and juice the organic heirloom leaves, very medicinal, one of the best things to put in the body. But I would be in East Africa just growing food, living a very simple, very natural life. That's definitely what I would be doing. It's actually what I'm working towards now, is just like this next level up in my life, this new door that's opening, this new chapter that's starting is requiring me to leave a lot behind and close the door on old aspects of myself in order to open the door to the new aspects. So the new aspects are much simpler, much more natural, much more in alignment with what we are as spiritual beings. Yeah.
Come on, church. Somebody say something. Come on now. Man, I wish I had that mindset when. How old are you?
25.
Man, I wish I thought like that at 25.
Man.
You're so fortunate to be 25 with that with that mindset and on your frequency. The way, oh my gosh, it took me add 10 more years to that before I was. You know what? I want to live off the grid. I don't want to do this no more. Hey, you about 50 now, brother. You got more time behind than you do in front. All right.
Did you say you're 50? You're not 50, right?
No, I'm not.
Well, I'm like, wow. I was to say, wow, what are you doing? Talking about me.
So I got my own apothecary. I got herbs and spices too. No, I'll just play it. No.
You were 50.
But I remember I was on the first Ant-Man and did some background feature work. And I went to the wardrobe woman, and she was like, "Damn it, I told them to send me some older people." And at the time, I was 36. I said, "Well, how old And she said, I said no younger than 36. I said, I'm 36. No,
Wow.
you're not. Like, she was aggressive and everything. And I handed her my driver's license. She's like, well, I'll be damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I got good genes. I drink a lot of water and I try not to stress. That's the
There you
Aquarius
go.
in me. So if it's stressing, I'd be like, bye-bye. I'll talk to y'all some other time. Maybe not.
Right.
But so that's beautiful to have that mindset, man. And I'm glad to have been familiarized with you through my big brother, Dr. True.
Absolutely.
Yeah, running
Yeah.
into him on Clubhouse has been a really fortunate thing to do, because I've this journey of enlightenment and wanting to know and just want more, you find it difficult to find your tribe, for lack of a better phrase, because there's so many people that refuse any additional information.
Yeah.
They haven't had that alarm clock go off yet. And so anything outside of their lullaby to keep them in a certain place where they're at, they don't. It's uncomfortable for them. They don't like it, and you find yourself kind of distancing both parties, distancing yourselves from people that you were with for years,
Yeah.
and in a lot of cases, that's the best thing, because now that allows you to grow comfortably without any resistance from people that you love and care about. And I mean, it might be good for them too, because they're able to stay the same. But for you to be 25 and you to have that mindset, that's a beautiful thing. And I'm
Thank
glad
you.
that to be acquainted with you. And I'm even really glad, and I just put all those words together, that you came on to the show today.
Likewise. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah. So we have a question for you, Tashika. Tashika says she was an idiot at 25.
Yeah.
Well, I found out that the human brain doesn't fully develop until or about 25. So
Yeah.
you're right on time, Aris. So Tashika wants to know, what were those leaves again? It was weed, Tashika. She says weed. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
Yeah. I said heirloom, so you want to make sure that it's like the leaves that you get it from the cannabis, that it's like organic heirloom, meaning that it can actually reproduce. It hasn't been genetically modified. It's not hybridized or cross-pollinated or anything crazy to where it's, again, just not going to be like medicinal or compatible with the body. But juicing the leaves of cannabis is really medicinal, anti-inflammatory, good for the immune system, good for the cannabinoid system. It's just
Come
overall
on,
really good.
cannabinoid. What is that?
That's the system within the body that's receptive to the medicinal properties of the plant. So it's basically, it's almost like, it's like our ability to receive its spirit within our body is the cannabinoid system.
That's that's partially the reason why it was made illegal, and now it's been genetically modified. Is there
Yeah.
a site that we can get that, or is that one of the behind the counter conversations?
It is, yeah, right now it
Okay,
is.
all right, we're gonna move right along. Thank you. For
Yeah. Even like I had to find just like work in the shadows and like find a woman here that grows organically, but she's no longer here. She moved back to the West Indies. So now I'm in need too. So and when I find a new supplier, I can definitely get you in contact with them.
And we gonna put it on. No, we're not gonna put it on the show. It's Saturday, so I'm acting up. Well, I thank you for coming to the show. We've gone over a little bit because this was a beautiful conversation. We always go over on this show
Absolutely.
because. Hold on.
Okay.
Wait a minute. There's another question. Is there a commune that you're
No.
moving to in Africa?
So it's not a commune. I just plan on going by myself. And it's an aspect of like what my soul has been calling me to do for some time now. I've just really been desiring to just like go to a certain country for at least a month, like on my own.
Yes.
And I've traveled like recently a lot, but just it wasn't by myself. So I plan just to go to East Africa. The countries I'm interested in visiting are Mozambique, Kenya, and Tanzania. And then I plan to move to Tanzania just because of I'm drawn to East Africa because the energy is a little bit more soft, more feminine, and just slower paced compared to West Africa. But I think all parts of Africa have like their inherent pros and cons. But yeah, so not a commune, but I would just be moving to Tanzania, probably renting for some time before investing in land and property.
And that's before we go. That's a beautiful thing too, because a lot of times when you have these conversations with us and you talk about your future self and where you find yourself regionally, regional wise, and they'll be like, you ask them when you end the conversation. I always make sure I go last because I just want to
Mm,
prove a point to myself that's already known. We'll be like, I want to go to Paris. I want to go to. I
Mm-hmm.
want to go here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's never Africa. So when I speak, I'll be like, yeah, I'm looking to repatriate back to Ghana for starters.
mhm.
Why you want to do that?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Why why don't you want to do that?
exactly. Why don't you want to do that?
Eris,
Yep.
do you speak any? Do you know any Kiswahili?
I do not. I know like 3 words. I know like pili pili, pepper, I think that is. I need to learn. I'm planning on getting like a book to just have like the common phrases and then learning a little bit before I get there so I at least know like respectful things like hello, thank you, goodbye, nice to meet you. But I think of course like the best way to learn is like once I actually get there and I'm forced to like
Yeah. And
use the
and
lingo.
Audible
Okay.
has some good books. Pimsleur. I have the books. They come in like lessons, and they teach you in conversation, like basic conversation. So
Cool.
it's kind of like how you would learn as a child. You didn't learn initially how to speak through school. You
Right.
learn as a child just through hearing basic conversation through your parents and everything else. So it's a good. I have Swahili through
Awesome.
Pimsleur on Audible, so you
Himsler.
might check
Okay.
that out.
Thank you. I'm gonna write that down real quick.
So we have another question from Cha Cha Amana. What's ham, player? Is Are you able to avoid the vaccine going to Africa?
So, as of right now, I am. If the United States corporation decides to do any more mandating before I plan to leave, I may have to come up with a different plan. I have no intention of vaccinating myself,
Right.
and that's also one of the reasons Tanzania, as of right now, doesn't require coronavirus testing for you to enter the country. So for people that are averse to that or do not want to do that or have any issue with that, Tanzania, you don't need to be tested. But if it came down to getting a vaccine to leave, then I would just need to find my paradise here because I'm not doing that. Yeah.
You know what? I would just want to say this is how I know she trill. She's 25. She said United States
Corporate,
Corporation.
come on, Charlie. I wasn't gonna say
Yeah.
nothing. I was gonna let that go
No,
because that might have went over people's heads.
I wasn't gonna let that go.
Matter of fact,
Yeah, it's not a country.
you get something else for that one. Wait a minute. You get one of these. Rewind, Comstactor. I told you,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You amazing, Aris.
Thank you.
We need more celery juice in our lives to.
It does help. It does help.
Oh shoot. We could go on for days and days, but I want to get everybody back today, Saturday. This has been a great conversation, a great
Absolutely.
interview. Glad you came again. And I look forward to doing more work with you. I'm in Atlanta, so you need
Yeah.
some photos or something, holla at y'all.
Sounds good. Thank you so much
And
for the invitation.
And
No
I'm
problem.
in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I'm hosting the Black Vegan Fest Indy in July. So if
Okay.
you want to come up for that, we'd be more than
Absolutely.
glad to have you.
And even if
Yeah,
you
I'm
can't
gonna
come
get
up
your
there, she does it virtually. So are you what's that looking like
okay.
this year, Kiana, so far?
We trying to be all the way live
Okay.
this year.
Nice. I'll get
So
your contact from Jamille, and if I'm able to if it's feasible, I'll definitely try to come out there. I've never been to Indiana, so
We're gonna have to get you a
yes, it's
group of
more than corn in Indiana.
We're gonna have to get you some
Nice.
security to get you up there, though.
Don't do that, Jamille. Don't say that. No, never mind.
Yeah, I'm just playing. But yeah, so to springboard off her festival, we did. I supported her vegan fest. She had an all virtual vegan festival last year, and it was a total success. It was super dope. Where people told her she couldn't do it, she did it, and so that just means this year is gonna be even better because she made her way out of no way. Yes.
Congratulations.
All right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I done did a lot of applause breaks today.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, Aris, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate you, and we'll be in contact some more.
Thank you so much for having me, and y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday and weekend as well.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Oh, that was such a great interview. That was good.
It was
very informative. I'm. You know what?
Her energy was just so. It was so.
Peaceful.
It was so calm, and it was like speaking art. Like she was just. When she talked, it was just so calm and soft, and she needs to do like meditation. What are them like a meditation? Yes.
Did you see where that brother calmed down his younger brother from about to spaz out with like meditative breathing practices?
No, I didn't.
So there was this little kid. They were under 10, and the little baby boy was about to flash. Like he was like, and the big brother, he was like, calm down, breathe.
Oh, that's so dope.
But that made me think when you was talking about Aris, because when I called and spoke to her earlier in the week to give her the details about the show, like I'm on the way to the chiropractor, and I was rejuvenated. I was like, hey, so what? And she was like, yes, okay. All right. Of course. And I was just like, I'm out of place right now. Turn down, Jamille. But I was too geeked up, and I was like the Tasmanian devil, and she's all right. Of course. Is there anything else? I'm like, I need that type of energy.
She is like on the other end of the phone, her hands is like this.
Yeah. Like this Negro is too loud. We will bring him down with our inflections. I want to start talking like that. I need to calm down. But no, I do talk like that sometimes. Sometimes when I'm in a certain mood, if I'm on the phone, I'm like, yeah, so you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and something else.
Yeah.
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 Yep, and them leaves.
Hey, welcome to the Jamille Harley Morning Show. This has been Jamille Harley. And to back up, my mama said, and I'm always going to acknowledge my baby. She said, congratulations on the anniversary of the Jamille Harley Morning Show being over a year old. I didn't miss you. Yes, ma'am. And then let's go on down to the chats. Tashika, I'm glad you came on in. Good job, y'all.
Hey.
Thank you. It was a good interview. Right on.
It's a for show right on. Look.
It's a for show right on. I'm not even going to share that last comment she just said. The streets is watching.
I can only imagine. Okay, we're gonna leave that where it is.
We're gonna leave that where that is. But thank y'all for coming on to the show again. Another Saturday in the books. We enjoyed ourselves, enjoyed Aris Hill, enjoyed Coach Willie Earl, and as always, I enjoyed Kiana Quarles, my co-host, my lovely co-host that's gonna get some product from her main man, Mr. Coach Willie Earl.
Oh,
he said he gonna get them curls together for you. But nonetheless, this has been the Jamille Harley Morning Show, and we will see y'all same bat time, same bat channel next Saturday. All right.
You are now listening to the Jamille Harley Morning